This is a 2-year-old Doberman who was dropped off for training last week. Completely out of control dog. I've honestly not seen many dogs in this bad of state of mind, who are always hyper aroused, looking in the environment for something to be aroused at, just looking always for something to go at. And she has redirected on her handler multiple times, bitten. She's very out of control, and it's not for the lack of the owners trying. They've had trainers since the dog was 9 weeks old. This is the product of purely positive training, and that is just a fact. This dog was not failed by the owners. This dog was failed by the trainers. The owners did the homework. They did everything they were taught to do. Unfortunately, when you're told ignore, 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 this is what happens with an intense dog like this. She becomes so out of control and in a hectic state of mind that you end up medicating it. She became worse on medication, which many do. And then they upped the dose of the medication, and she became worse again. So finally, they're left with the vets have nothing, the trainers have nothing. So then they called us. This is her 1 week into training with us. She has weaned off all her medication before she came to us because I wanted her to be clear in the head. The medication was making her worse, more aggressive. She was very lost in her head. I have been working very little on obedience with this dog. I've been just working on getting the brain to turn on and start to pay attention to what's happening around her with a different state of mind. Working with the handler, looking for direction from the handler, not always being in this hyper aroused state.
Good girl. Good girl.
She needed to learn control, getting in and out of the car. She refused to get into the crate in the car and also would barge out whenever she wanted. She's learning to wait for commands, to have more control, impulse control, to get in and out of the car. She's very food motivated, but it does not matter to her when she's in that hyper aroused state. So this is just a dog who, with good training from the beginning, would have been completely fine. But sadly, the issues began to pop up as a young puppy. They were not addressed. They were told to ignore, told to avoid triggers. The dog progressively got worse. Eventually, they couldn't take her anywhere, and eventually they couldn't even take her out of their house for walks. So this dog has not been walked in over a year because she's so dangerous to take on a walk. So it gets to this point where the dog's either going to be euthanized, or it has to be sent for intensive training to a facility like ours, and then we have to be the asshole to get this dog back under control when it just could have been done right from a puppy.
Good girl. Very nice.
So you can see we even have her off leash. She's learning to recall with the e-collar. She's had a whole maybe 5 days on e-collar. And everything is coming together fairly fast in the beginning because a lot of her issues were just caused from lack of control. But when this dog goes into the red zone, she is insanely difficult to break through, and she will bite you. So we have a long road of recovery ahead. She's here with us for 6 weeks, and we will have a lot of public training to do, a lot of scenarios. We've also got her running with the side-by-side now. She really needs that as a dog that hasn't been walked in a year. She really needs to get a lot of pent-up energy out. This is her just learning to relax beside the side-by-side, because when we would stop, she would fight the leash and try to pull back out of it and just couldn't settle. So we waited until she settled before we continued with our run. Stay tuned for more updates of Juniper.